Hi, Cameron. How you doing?
Hey, doing awesome. It's 9 o'clock out here, so it's 9 a.m. over by you.
Yeah, it's 9 a.m.
That's crazy. Are you from India?
Yeah, I was born here, but then I lived most of my life out in California.
Gotcha. Now you're back out there, huh?
Yeah, and I'll probably come back at some point. I just don't know when.
Sweet. Yeah, so I opened up this store here in Denver with 3 other artists. It's called Catalyst Crystals and Jewelry, and we're like a gem shop and also an art gallery.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna flip my camera around and show you guys. Half of the lights are off right now, but
Oh,
this is our storefront. When you walk in, got like a bunch of really beautiful stones and
so
fossils.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the light on over here. This is this is my personal work.
Oh, nice.
Spray it up in here, and then we have an art gallery back here with a ton of talented Denver-based painters. All these cases are filled with local jewelers as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who did that dragon painting? It looks
Dragon.
like a dragon.
This one here, huh?
Oh, it's not a dragon. It's a fierce
Kinda looks
lady.
like that, huh? Yeah, this is the original Entheogenesis by Sean Zenner.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So, yeah. That is our downstairs area, and we just work upstairs. Yeah, this is my little spot, and my dog under here. Say
Oh.
hi, Ryder.
Hi. What's his name?
Yeah, his name's Ryder.
Ryder. Oh, how cute.
Yep, he's a cool guy. Yeah.
So how did you get into fabrication and casting from wire wrapping?
So I was wire wrapping for about like six or 7 years, and I was doing it on the road as well. I was living in a truck camper, traveling the country, and in that time I was doing a lot of wire wrapping, and I was actually soldering in the camper as well, doing work like that. And then I moved into the store about 6 months ago, and since then I've transitioned to doing 3D rendered jewelry. So
Oh, wow.
essentially what I'm doing is so just with the years of like metalsmithing experience and stone setting experience I have, I'm able to make just really crazy designs on an iPad. So like here is a wedding ring that I'm working on right now.
Oh, wow, look at that.
And so I'm able to make these super intricate designs on here. And then I 3D print them. And once I 3D print it, I cast it into whatever metal, whether it's silver or gold. And then I come to my jewelry bench and I do all the stone setting and engraving and all that.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard about fabrication and casting before you said that you did it. So I was like really confused. I thought it was like something totally different.
Yeah, fabrication is like traditional jewelry making where you're using like a blowtorch and heat to create soldering joints, and I still do a good bit of that, and, but now I'm like, literally this is like brand new in jewelry. This is probably like 10 years old 3D print casting work, so you're able to create just like basically I can make whatever my mind can think of now. There's like almost no limitations of what is possible.
Uh-huh. So, that's like really interesting that you got into all this. Like, you've been doing this for how many years now? I mean, the whole starting from wire wrapping.
Yeah, I would say probably about 9 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how do you balance your art and your life, or does it kind of just merge together?
Yeah, when I was living on the road making jewelry, it was definitely all inclusive, and this is kind of the first time in those 9 years that I've had a separation of where I live and where I work. So that's been good. I'm here at this store like all the time, like, you know, probably like 60 to 80 hours a week. But it's nice to have that separation because when I'm home, I can like relax.
Yeah. That's good. It's nice to see that your journey has led you to somewhere peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful and full of a lot of good challenges. Like today, as a store, I was working on releasing like press releases for our business. So we're trying to like get an article written in local newspapers or magazines for like art and fashion and culture, stuff like that.
That's nice. Hopefully get your word out there more to more people. Are you in Denver now?
Yeah, we're in Denver, so yeah, it's good trying to get all different kinds of clientele. Yeah.
So is all the work that you do commissioned work, or do you do separate pieces also?
Honestly, most of it's not custom work. I'm like very particular with customs that I take on. I only really like, because most of the reason I make jewelry is for the art of it, and being able to be expressive and like make what I would like to make. Because there's kind of an overlap with jewelry where you can kind of get into like a mundane, like like traditional stuff that nothing really changes, and you're just making it as a way to like make money. Which I make a living off of this, but I also am trying. Like, it's always been about the art for me. Yeah.
That's good. So what advice would you give to like somebody who's starting out in wire wrapping before they get to your level?
Yeah, good question. I think especially with wire wrapping, it's like there's so much that's possible. So definitely like following as many talented wire wrappers as you can on Facebook and Instagram, just so you can see what's possible. And then just invest in yourself. I mean, I remember my very first investment in my jewelry, I think was about like $30 or $40. And at the time I was like 18 years old, and I was like, oh my God, that is insane. There's no way I could do that. And like, I ended up, you know, I had a buddy be like, you have to do it. This is how you get to the next step. And, you know, ever since then, that $40 turned into just so much more, and it's continued to expand. And yeah, I really think that we're all very creative, and we all have the ability to create from this life. And, you know, it's a blessing to be able to pursue that. And I think that that's what it is a lot of times we're held back from like fear of the unknown, of if we'll succeed, and not necessarily releasing that, but just like understanding that that's what you're diving into, and then just dive fully into your passion. And I really think that the universe does conspire in our favor when we pour what we want into our passions.
Yeah, most definitely. Are you do you think that when you used to go around the country and do your wire wrapping, how did that shape you for today?
You know, the first thing that comes to mind is like resilience. Understanding that there's times where the river's going to be flowing. There's going to be tons of abundance of money and constantly selling your art and feeling good about yourself. You know, because that's a very real thing with being a self-employed artist, is that a lot of times we like set like an expectation, of course, for ourselves, and you know, a lot of our self-worth is based on how much money we can pull in order to survive. And it's really easy to get stuck in that loop of like, if you're not selling things, you don't have self-worth, or if your art's not selling, you know, your art is bad in your eyes or whatever. But yeah, I think resilience is definitely the word, because there's always going to be those dips, and being able to pull through those and to keep pursuing it.
What was like the hardest places for you, the tribulations and trials of getting through life? Where was the hardest?
I guess like a lot of times, well, I've been very lucky that I haven't had anything like really bad happen with my situations, but yeah, I think it kind of just comes back to that. It's just like pushing through like really hard times, like when you're working, like for example, I just made my first 18 karat gold bridal piece with like a really nice center diamond and a bunch of diamond melee, and it was an extremely overwhelming project that I didn't know if I was capable of. And at the very end of this ring project, I snapped a prong off, and you know, like everything that was like in my head about myself came out in that moment of like, okay, you're obviously not capable of doing this. You aren't good enough to do this. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. And you know, it's so easy to let that voice consume you, but instead I always try to like take a step back, come back to the piece, and then it almost always turns out. And so sure enough, I was able to get it taken care of and fixed, and it turned out great, and the wedding ring recipient is super happy.
Oh wow, that's great. So what, so you were able to fix it and you didn't have to start from scratch?
So yeah, this is like the pinnacle of jewelry creating at this point. There's this device called a laser welder, and I'm actually like very close to investing in one for myself. And you basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. You go in a box with a microscope and you fire like a microscopic laser beam at the piece, and you can like add metal to the piece permanently, and you can do like unreal stuff. So what we did is we went under the microscope and we added on 18 karat gold and built it up and made a completely new prong that I was able to secure the diamond with.
Oh, nice. It's nice that you didn't have to start from all the way from the beginning.
Truly, yeah, that would not be a good time.
So, what's your favorite experience out of all the experiences you had, or what's your favorite piece that you've made up to date?
Well, I would say one of my favorite pieces, I'd say that ring is definitely one of the proudest pieces I made. And also I made a piece recently that's like a cloud castle. It's like this castle floating in the clouds. There's a bunch of gold in it, and some diamond melee, and it's got this beautiful fantasy cut ametrine. And for me, it was just like an example of like how far I could like push my kind of just the adventurous and like explorative side, because it's totally a niche, you know. It's like a castle in the clouds that you wear on your neck, and like yeah, sure. I'm gonna go back downstairs and show you it in the case.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That does look like a castle in there.
Yep. And here's just a couple of my other things right now.
How beautiful. Ooh, I really like that blue one.
Yeah, it's actually the Medusa face.
Oh, it is? Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just bright blue at first. How did you do that?
I didn't do the carving, actually. I purchased the carving like that, and then I made the piece in metal.
Oh, sweet.
Silver and 24 karat inlay. Let me turn this back around.
Are you one day planning on having your own shop?
Good question.
Do you like having the surrounding?
Yeah, you know, I think it's definitely not out of the question, but yeah, there's something really special about what we're doing here, because it's not just a jewelry shop. We do a lot of events, and we sponsor a lot of our community, or like get a lot of our community together, and yeah, that's what I'm really excited about with this, actually, is that it's such a community-based experience. So I wouldn't say no, but I'm not too sure.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to share with us, sir?
That's basically it. Picking my brain. Here, I can show you this too. This is my 3D printer that's working right now.
Oh, okay.
So I have these rings in there, and basically it's this resin, and as that plate lifts, it like shoots it with this ultraviolet light that cures it, and you can make about anything. So I'm doing a reprint on these right now, but this is a ring that so this is it in resin. It's like a sunflower ring. And yeah.
You have to do it like one at a time, or can you do more than one piece at a time using this process?
Yep, you can. So it's one of the main reasons I started doing this is because, you know, I'm only 27, and after my like years of doing this, I am, you know, I can feel it in my body, and I want to be able to keep doing this for as long as I possibly can. So a lot of the reason I did this was to take like the physical exertion off of my body, and allow me to just like work smarter, you know, instead of harder.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you for showing us around, and if you wanted to drop any of your links before we wrap it up.
Yeah, best place to follow me is on Instagram, Chakra Roots, CHAKRA_roots. And yeah, that's the same for my website. So find me at chakraroots.com.
Okay, nice. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, I appreciate the interview, and best of luck with your podcast.
Okay, thank you. I'll be putting it up on SoundCloud and YouTube today.
Great. Awesome. Cheers.
Cheers.